Well, I have somehow managed to have an exhausting day despite not really doing much of anything. So I'm just gonna cheer myself up with some dungeon, some dungeon meshy, some food in dungeon, delicious dungeon food and dungeon meshy dungeon. I think is what I'm gonna do. Cause I need it. Right, welcome to an anime watch along, where if you've been to one of these before, you know how it works, but if you haven't, I should probably explain it. Also, why are you here? This is like episode 18. Start at number 1, maybe. Yeah. Stop viewing my video. I'm good at this job. The way it works is that I have a timer in the top left corner of the screen, and next to that, there's a little window that'll show you whatever the subtitles are. Of whatever is happening on screen currently. Because despite the screenshot that you can see playing for you right now, I will, for the most part, only be showing you this as we're going through the episode. And you will need to have your own copy of the episode open and use the subtitles and the numbers to sort of help you keep up with where I am. And I'll try my best to make it possible to do that, in part, for example, by giving you countdowns. I will say 3, 2, 1, play, when we play the episode all the way back from 0000000, and every once in a while I'll have so much to say that I can't just say it over the course of the episode playing back, and I'll say 3, 2, 1, pause, and then I'll go off on my thing, which can take a while, admittedly, and once I'm done, I will find like an appropriate spot for us both to resume that should be reasonably easy to continue from, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then we will proceed. That is the way that it works. That's the way it has been working, and while it is not the most convenient way to do things for you, it is the most convenient way to do things for me, and at the present, that matters a little bit more to me, so that's how it goes. Anyway, let's watch Dungeon Meshi. 3, 2, 1, go. Netflix logo, Mushroom Man. Oh, oh, oh. It's such an upbeat intro. It feels so much like it's supposed to be for like a comedy show. Like it feels so much like it's just, and Dungeon Meshi is very funny, but the tone of the show in general, like it's that interesting thing. The tone of the show a lot of the time is comedy, but the tone of the actual story, the actual like overarching narrative plot, is dark as shit, man. It's one of the things I really appreciate about the show, but it is always that thing. Like, I've seen people making memes about this, like the thing about like the most horrifying shit has happened, and then like the like the outro and intro themes kick in for the next episode, and people just get emotional whiplash from it. And yeah, like, yeah. Ooh. And blood. Yes. Oh, hey, look at that lion. Chill Chuck. Hey, speaking of that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Laios, you're such an optimist. Huh? Yeah, getting grabbed by a strange hand in the middle of the snowstorm. That's fine, right? Okay, hang on. 3, 2, 1, pause. Hold on a sec. I need to see. They're not very good, these shapeshifters, necessarily. I mean, so like, the chill chucks look fairly deep. What the fuck is that, Laios? Oh, that's amazing. Okay, but interesting. So, like, we have Laios with a head injury, it looks like. Then we have buff Laios. Then we have boyish Laios, like somewhat younger. It's like there really is some subtle detailing going on here. Like with the nose shape is wrong, and like the jaw shape is just a little bit less. Like he just looks like he's like 15, right? And then that's an attempt. We're like, this one's pretty close, but you can see the eye shape is wrong, whereas this one and that one, all of a sudden, that one is a lot harder to tell. Interesting. And the Chillstrix, one of them's too short. One of them is way too boyish. That's very fucking funny. This made him even shorter. Oh, God. Look at that, Senshi. Okay, so you can tell the nose there is wrong. The whole face there is wrong. But I can't tell between these two. Just at a glance. Maybe it's the helmet. Oh, yeah. The helmet doesn't have the chip cut out of it. There it is. There's that detail. I'm sure there's one on Marcille as well that I just missed. Oh, right. Marcille lost her eyelashes. Is that going to come back here? That would be interesting. Oh, that's very funny. Good character design too. Like good use of it. Don't think that's the real chill check, but I'm not sure. That's like a fun little, just a little remixing of the character designs to sort of show, because the eye shapes. Okay. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. He says it so happily. Hang on, wait. 3, 2, 1, pause. Hold on. You did. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Look at this. I'm advancing single frames. They did animated on ones. Oh, you've gotta be fucking shitting. Why would you do that? Okay, hang on. Look how fucking smooth that turning animation is. What in the shit? Right? Because, like, they're turning him on ones, right? Like, he like, turns, has a little pause, turns, has a little pause. Why is that so smooth? That is insane. Because, again, it's we've talked about this before in these reactions, is you're not just like animating a person turning on ones. That's doable, you know. It's a bunch of work, but he's wearing this fairly complex set. Like it's a bunch of hard geometry on this armor that needs to be turned smoothly. Look how they're fucking managing, like, the fucking shoulder pauldron wings. Like the smoothness with which they're turning the little buckles on the side away. Fuck you. Come on. That's kind of wild. That is incredibly smooth. And, like, the switch, right? Like, because the nose is stylized, right? It's not fully rendered out with its complete structure. So when they swap from showing, like, the nose line on the left side to the nose line on the right side, you can see there how, like, the heavy shadow shifts from left to right, but they bring the nose line over just, like, ever so smoothly, bridging that gap really nicely. Like, and I can see the wobble, right? Like, I can see the wobble and the boil on the line. Like, actually, let me zoom in since I have the power to do that here. I can see the wobble and the boil on the lines. Like, if you pay attention to his eyebrow, for example, you can see how it changes shapes quite dramatically between these two frames, right? Like, you can see how it's not perfectly consistent. Same with the line weight on the eyes from frame to frame. Like, there's lots of wobbling that goes on in the lines, which tells me that this is, like, fully... This isn't even... Like, maybe they rotoscoped it over a 3D model. Like, that would certainly ease the burden of it. But it means that this is full animation. This is fully redrawn animation, every single frame. is a complete new drawing. Every pixel of it. And that you can also see that, like, you can see a little wobble in the beard, right? How much 5 o'clock shadow he's got sitting on his face. So, like, you zoom in real close, you can see the imperfections that come from this just being done by motherfucking hand. But in motion, it looks perfect. That is a wild thing to spend a whole bunch of production time on. I mean, again, it's something that hopefully, at least I hope, speaks to good management on the production. That, like, when we have, like, a shot like this, which you really didn't need to animate him doing that so smoothly. You could get away with a much, like, flatter, much more stylized, like, looking left to right kind of thing. No problem whatsoever. You could get away with that. But the fact that the animator clearly had time to create a bespoke, fully animated little looking left and right bewildered loop, hopefully that speaks really well of the management and the production, that they had the time left over, they had the space in their budget, in their workflow to do that. Because that's the kind of thing that you don't have time for on a production that's really fucking crunched, right? Like, that's the kind of thing you probably wouldn't push an animator to do overtime just to do that on a really crunched production. So, like, hopefully that's a sign of good management, because that's a little wild that they did that. Anyway, 7 minutes 26 seconds in. 3, 2, 1, go. The leftmost chill chug is definitely fake. Wait. Oh. Oh no. That's Senshi, isn't it? Oh. Okay. Yeah, oh, body posture. Yeah, but, like, Marcial's hairstyle is... That's very consistent, except for the one. Uh-oh. Come on, Senshi's not hard. Skill challenge. The zoom in. It's really not that hard. How the hell do you not know Senshi? Still, this is a good fun little thing. Oh, what a lovely opportunity to bounce the characters. That, yeah. I do like that that's... I do like they picked up, oh yeah, Marcel is a total lesbian. Like, they picked up on that right away. What the fuck did you not notice? Yeah. No, they don't, you dipshit. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Oh, come on. Okay. 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, so I've said before that Laios is heavily autism coded, right? Like that like his character feels very heavily like injected with character traits that can read as autistic, right? We don't know that they know what the fuck autism is in this world. Like, presumably, it's not something you could get a diagnosis for in Dungeon Meshy land. But so, one of the things that is like a characteristic trait of autism is to express intense internal physical feeling or emotional feeling with physical action. And one of the very common things that autistic people might do when they're very happy, when they're very stimulated, or when they're freaking out a little bit, is specifically hand flapping, like flapping their hands, shaking their hands around to sort of like to sort of regulate and bring themselves bring their emotions down to like a controllable level. And like my boy is doing hand flapping. Like he's literally like he's really tense. He needs to regulate himself before he does something that's kind of scary. Right? And it's also like it's also that he's warming up his hands, right? Like it's also that like, and that's why I say it's coding, right? Like again, it's not something anyone's going to come out and say that, oh, it's specifically because of, but it's like the coding is very heavy, and like the way that they've animated it here also really has, it has the vibe, like especially like with the way he's like leaning back his head and kind of like as though he's trying to get a bunch of tension out of himself, is like, that's really, and also it's good animation. Looks good put forwards and backwards. Like there, like the little smears on the fingers as he's shaking them, right? The way that the shadow on the nose is used to help him, like to help show that he's tilting his head back without tilting it all the way back. And the fact, like, the smears are used, like, sparingly, right? Like, they're not everywhere. They're not there all the time. They're just for, like, the fastest bits of the flap, right? They show up just to bridge that a little bit more and make that feel a little bit faster. And again, I can't stress this enough, like, this kind of complex geometry, moving it around at a smooth frame rate can be a nightmare. Because, like, again, if you pay close attention to the line weight, if you pay close attention to, like, the consistency of the shape, you can see it wobbling. You can see it boiling here and there, like, with inconsistencies that just happen when you're drawing something that is so rigid and geometric over and over and over again. And the difference between doing that well and doing that poorly is, like, maintaining not three-dimensional perfection, right? That's the hallmark of 3D, is that it doesn't have any problem turning complex objects in space or moving them with perfect consistency, like perfect geometrical, perfect volumetric consistency. Like, that's what 3D is really, really good at, in a way that 2D can't. And so in 2D, the objective isn't to match the consistency of 3D animation. The objective is to make it look good in motion, right? Like, to have the inconsistencies be inconspicuous enough, or have them be elided by, or in some way aid the motion of the character in a way that you just don't notice it here, right? And I'm just endlessly impressed by the technical skill that's on display from these animators. And it is a thing of like I do watch a bunch of, I won't say low quality so much as like low budget seasonal anime, right? Like there's always the fucking endless parade of disposable isekais, like, you know, every season, and like bad harem, and like there's always, like, that's just the nature of the business, right? Like there's a bunch of sort of cheap cash in nonsense and like chancers being put out that's not got the level of budget, but also like, you can, I feel you can tell the difference between good animators who are working at a low budget and perhaps inexperienced or just overworked and crunched to death. Like, you can tell the difference between a good, well-rested animator who takes home a decent, like, a livable wage, versus someone who's working another job just to try and make ends meet, and who's also, like, being crunched to death at their studio. And, like, this looks like... Again, I don't know the production conditions at Studio Madhouse, or Studio Trigger, rather. I don't know what the conditions are there, but their animators animate as though they are being, like, treated reasonably well. I believe the studio also uses a bunch of outsourcing for this anime. I don't know exactly to whom or how much or where it is. I would imagine, like, stylistically, I feel like I can tell. Like, there's a difference between, like, the episode with Chilchuck and the Mimic, right? The scene with Chilchuck and the Mimic specifically is like, no, yeah, okay. It's like, wow, holy shit. Like, there are parts of the anime that are clearly stylistically different from one another. Episode 3, I think, sort of showed signs of being outsourced, because it didn't need, like, the super high power animation budget. The Chilchuck scene, like, either that was outsourced to someone who, like, specifically chose to swing for the fences and, like, just go, fuck it, we ball, right? Like, we're just going fucking insane. Or else it was, like, that was one scene that the people at Trigger were like, no, we're gonna pour all of the power juice on this one for some fucking reason. So I can't necessarily tell that at a glance, because outsourcing studios tend to be really good at mimicking. So again, I don't actually know if it's a Trigger animator who's doing this scene. But it seems like someone who, like, had time to do it right. Like, that's what this feels like as animation. Because again, this is such an incidental gesture, right? Like, this is something that could be done so much simpler. And in a way that would be much less technically demanding. And they choose to do it in, like, a really interesting, again, fully animated, very good looking way. Like, damn. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, go. Actual barking noises? Holy shit, dude. Oh, come the fuck on! Oh, hello. Nine-tailed fox creature. Oh, you gotta be fucking with me. That's very funny. Okay, hang on. 3, 2, 1, pause. You've got to be shitting me. Just as I mentioned the fucking Chill Chuck episode, we get this fucking shit. Holy fuck. Like, just going absolutely ham. With a big monstrous elk and like this huge fucking tracking shot, and it looks a little shoddy, like the white glowing background, but it kind of works because it's a fantasy scenario that Laios is imagining in his head, right? Like, so we get this slightly wonky, like slightly distorted, like animation style that's just like like really going ham on the motions on here, like real studio Trigger shit. Again, can't say for sure that it was Trigger who animated this. I think it was. But Laios really is a dog. And then this fucking sequence. Laios, you fucking furry. Like the fucking carousel of heads is like, god damn. That's like for the silly joke. But it's gorgeous. I can't 100% tell if they're keeping the consistency that Marcel is missing eyebrows on one side, or the eyelashes on one side. I do like that they're made of leaves. That's cool. That's another bit of slightly like lovely little particle animation. Like the transformation. Like that smooth turn. That's really nice. This is Trigger, though. Like, come on, that has to be. Certainly it's their style. Like, it's being mimicked very well if it's mimicry. Like a real, like, gorgeous work on that slow opening. Because like Trigger likes these shots, like with like the really close, hyper close up thing pushing in, and then like you like to sort of introduce the character to the frame, and then we back out. Right? See what I mean? And then like this rapid cutting, and then and then again, a really there was a simpler sort of comedy way to do that, where you just sort of render him flatly in chibi mode or something and just spin him. But look at the quality of that fucking pirouette he's doing there. Like, it's only a 3-frame loop, but it's a very consistent. I fucking love this anime. Anyway. 3, 2, 1, go. Got too into character. Wah, wah. Oh, is this the? Oh, is this? Oh, is this when? This would be when, wouldn't it? Hello, SAB. Oh, I look forward to you. People are gonna have some feelings about that character. People already have some, but like a lot more people. Oh man, so many people are gonna have. It's gonna be some gender envy to go around. Let me tell you. Fuck me. I like Dungeon Meshi so much. Oh, I really enjoy it. I've been thinking, by the way, would it make more sense for me to just watch the animation through and then sort of note, okay, these are the things I want to go back and talk about, and then go back and talk about them at the end rather than talk about them in the middle? I don't know. Like, you tell me how you like watching these things. Because that would create fewer problems with synchronization, right? But on the other hand, I feel like maybe part of the point is the reaction over the course of time, like that I don't sort of see the whole thing and then, yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it, but you can let me know what you think in the comments down below. God, I love this fucking show. Like, it's very much back in, like, after the fucking hell of an introduction, right? Like, with establishing the new stakes, establishing, like, the new quest to, like, save Fallon by destroying the Mad Mage, specifically. It's definitely back in the mode of, like, now we're just doing dungeon adventures again, right? Like, we've sort of returned to the episodic, here's a monster of the week format. That the show used to, like, that the show started on, right? Like, that was the format for most of the episodes to start with. And that's sort of, that seems to be sort of where we've gone back to, right? Which makes sense. Like, that's, I believe, also how Dungeon Meshi itself is structured, right? And it's like, it's good relief. Like, it's like, I'm like, the thing about, like, I had in my head for some reason, which is weird, because I have read Dungeon Meshi long, long ago. I reread the ending recently, because there's some artwork in the ending, like the last few, like the last fight with the last, enemy of the thing. There's some artwork there that I cannot fucking wait to see animate. Like, I really hope it stays Trigger and their outsourcing partners. I really hope it stays with them. It doesn't pull a fucking One Punch Man. Because there's some artwork near the end, like some things that are visualized by Ryukokui that I am gagging to see it animated. I'm gagging to see it animated well. It is genuinely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork, that manga. Like, beyond just, like, whether you like the story or characters or not, as artwork, as just sheer display of craft, it's like, it is on its own level, right? Like, it, like Ryukokui and her knack for expression and character design, and her knack for theming and visual metaphor is just out of this world good. Genuinely an astonishing piece of craft. I don't know if she's done manga before Dungeon Meshi, actually. I should fucking look that up. I should read her other work, because she is astonishingly good in a number of respects. What a fun little exercise in character design, because, like, it's the fucking hair, dude. Like, look at the hair. Marcille has this very unique, complicated hair arrangement going. And you're just like, oh yeah, she just took down her hair or whatever, or she just has this one braid over her shoulder. And also, like, again, from a structural perspective, like, like, this is Senshi, right? Like, Senshi sees Laios this way. That's 100% chill chuck. That's Marcille who sees him as a blithering idiot. It is very funny. Like, the way that, like, using the character design, like, using the fact, like, we have these shapeshifters. Not only is it about like just the comedy of having a bunch of shapeshifters around, but it's also like it also comments on the character. It sort of tells us something about how they see each other, right? I mean, honestly, this could be like any of them could like. I feel Senshi sees him as a little boy, right? Or maybe Marcille does because she's so much older than him. And like it could be any of them. Like, who the fuck? It has to be Senshi who sees her like that, right? Surely. And the one that's really boyish, like with the blush on the cheek and like the even bigger eyes and the softer nose. Like that has to be how Senshi sees Chilchuk because he thinks he's a child. But then interestingly, there's like the Senshis are a lot closer to each other in general, right? Where most of them get the little chips, right? One of them doesn't, but it's just like, oh yeah, Senshi's always been handsome. I think that's very funny. And it's very cute, like to have this thing of like using this little comedy bit to also do some actual commentary on how the characters feel about each other and perceive each other. And that like it's only Laios who they have such like the other characters in the party, it's only Laios who they have such radically different perspectives on. That that is like, oh yeah, that one's easy. Like we know that one. We can figure that one out. The rest of them though, like that's very funny. That was a good episode. I liked that. I really though like people are gonna have people are gonna have people are gonna have a little bit of a crisis about Asebi, I think, in a positive way. Anyway, I guess that's the end of the episode. Bye.